For the concept of crowdfunding, I have laid out of certain definition from scholars. Best Needs Swart, Lemkin and Raymond 2013, Internet-based method for companies and other organizations to collect funds through donation or contribution from a large number of people. Next, Wasjono and Marina 2017, the individuals, organizations and companies, including startups, can now raise funds for their operation by using online portals, which also known as crowdfunding websites. Next, we go to the Molik 2014, funding model in which business owners of different new business ventures or social and cultural initiatives receive funding from private investor or a pool of investors to help them to achieve their business goal and income. Thus, based on all the definition given by the scholars, in simple words, I might say that crowdfunding is the online platform created for the use of the individual or companies to get the funds or investors to make some fund investment for them to start or running their business. Then, under crowdfunding platform, there are 4 types of crowdfunding to be highlighted. First is the donation-based crowdfunding, whereby this concept highlighted that funds providers make a one-time contribution without expecting anything in returns. Second is about the reward-based crowdfunding. It means that the funds provider receive incentive in the forms of product or service in returns for their investment in reward-based crowdfunding. The third type of crowdfunding is lending-based crowdfunding, or also known as peer-to-peer, which is P2P, or market crowdfunding, which is this type illustrate the same concept with the bank lending, whereby the investor put the money into the bank account in exchange for the interest. The last one is the equity-based crowdfunding. This type means that fund provider receive shares in the fund venture as the retail of their investment. And if the company performs well, investor will receive dividend payment. Islamic crowdfunding is simply put the combination of the technology of crowdfunding, the principles of Fiqh Mu'amalat, which are the principles of business interactions in dealing in Islam, and also the modern contract of the Islamic finance industry. We put all these 3 things together and we get the service we call Islamic crowdfunding. All operations and procedures must follow Sharia guidelines to qualify as an Islamic crowdfunding platform. Prohibited factors such as error, which mean uncertainty, and riba must be avoided in all dealings and all operations, which is interest. The committee is in charge of ensuring that the operations follow Sharia principles and procedures to the letter. On the crowdfunding platform, they must conduct regular assessments and audits. A Sharia-compliant crowdfunding platform, for example, is ethics. It is the first equity crowdfunding platform to be totally Sharia-compliant. The Malaysian Securities Commission approved it and it appeals to a wide spectrum of risk appetite.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and my name is Nur Fatin Atira binti Muhammad Anwar, and my matric number is 2020987557. So I will continue this presentation about elements of Maqasid Syariah. So there are 3 elements, which is the first one is daruriyat, which is necessity. The use crowdfunding in an Islamic financial platform could be an opportunity for Islamic finance to grow. So the process of giving entrepreneurs the opportunity to get funds using crowdfunding reflects the trust placed in new business or projects. The continuity of their business depend on this type of funding. Islamic crowdfunding reduces the time and cost of doing business, which is compatible with the Islamic way of doing business by having the right information and no uncertainty. So the second one is hajiat, which is needs. Difficulty in obtaining funds from financial institutions could cause a new business and project to be abandoned. Such a scenario goes against the Maqasid Syariah. Islam encourage people to live without having difficulties. As the economy needs to grow, so does the new business. Funding from Islamic crowdfunding will encourage more Islamic entrepreneurs to start new ventures and business without having to depend on conventional interest-based financing. So the third one is tahsiniyah, which is luxuries. In Islam, it is possible to want a better life about the normal standard, right? So through Islamic crowdfunding, business can grow and gain more profit without the problem of capital rationing. With the expansion in the economy, more zakat money from business can be collected and used to build a better ummah and society. So next, let's see about issues of crowdfunding in Sharia challenge in equity crowdfunding transaction, which is in ECF platform operators. What is ECF platform operators? ECF platform operators is equity crowdfunding, which is an innovative form of alternative fundraising that allows small business to raise capital from the public using online platform. So the first issue is indefinite power of Sharia advisor. The appointment of Sharia advisor is compulsory if the ECF platform offers Islamic capital market products. For the purpose of ECF operation, the GRM does not specify their authority, thus creating an uncertainty to the extent of their power. The indefinite power of Sharia advisor can be divided into two situations, which are before and post campaign. So let's see about before the campaign. Okay, so first, when is the right time to ensure the compliance of Sharia in a company? So logically, it must be done before the campaign, right? As prospective investor will have to first determine whether the company is Sharia compliant or otherwise. So, coupled with the issue of no specific Sharia to access, some platforms just simply state in their website that they only accept halal business and as one of the conditions that need to be fulfilled. It is worth to note that the assessment is not only limited to the nature of business per se, but also the contract used by the issuer need to be evaluated as well in order to observe whether the terms and conditions are indeed compliant with Sharia. So even if the company is acknowledged as Sharia compliant, it is uncertain that the ECF campaign will success, and if it fails, it will be a fruitless effort and cost ECF platform a lot of money because the service done by the Sharia advisor is not free. If the campaign is successful, there will be a new question that either the Sharia advisor still has the power to continue to assure Sharia compliance of the company is still ongoing, or need to seek confirmation from time to time. So, if the power of the Sharia advisor is only limited to the completion of the fundraising campaign from the investor, what about if the quality of Sharia deteriorates from time to time due to various reasons until it is no longer within the framework of Sharia compliant company post campaign? So let's move to the post campaign. As mentioned above, after the campaign end and the company successful raise and target, the next question will arise whether there is a need of continuous Sharia compliant monitoring. so reasonable? The answer is that it requires an ECF platform to provide for a copy of the report by the Sharia advisor confirming business and operating which is company is managed in accordance with the Sharia principle to the Securities Commission. So this provision raised another issues as whether the said report by the Sharia advisor is merely an information provided by the issuer or Sharia monitoring. So the last one is the referring thoughts on the structure of equity. The National Sharia Advisor Council has its own method of conducting the Sharia screening process. So nonetheless, the same is not applied to companies wishing to utilize ECF platform. Therefore, Azlan and Shahnaz propose that Sharia compliancy in ECF activity requires a specific Sharia parameter as a reference to the Sharia advisor to assess and able to determine whether the company is indeed Sharia compliant or not. So it is important to note that the uncertainty about the Sharia compliancy of instrument or techniques may have become effective hindrance for Islamic finance catch-up in many areas.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So I will continue the presentation. The slide is about the selected examples of Islamic crowdfunding platforms that exist in Malaysia, which is Atis Ventures, Launchgood, Pitching, and the last one 88 Plus. So the first one is Atis Ventures. In 2014, Atis was founded as a private investment club in Singapore before it moved to Malaysia. And around at the end of 2020, Atis was awarded the first Sharia compliant equity crowdfunding license in Malaysia, and it has been approved by the Securities Commission Malaysia. So they operate crowdfunding platforms that based on ethical and Islamic concepts in Malaysia and Indonesia and subsequently in other countries. Second, the Launchgood, which is the world's largest Islamic donation and rewards platform that are from the United States. So Launchgood has recently set up a representative office in Malaysia. It placed emphasis on personal fundraising campaign, fundraising for disaster relief, and also humanitarian. And third is Pitching, which has been widely recognized as Malaysia's national crowdfunding platform. So Pitching operates as a platform that conducts equity crowdfunding and reward-based crowdfunding activities. And the last one is 88 Plus, which is a multi-equity crowdfunding platform. It is considered as a crowdfunding platform that is focused to the Muslim community, even though that this platform is not officially Sharia compliant. The next slide is about the example of basic structure of crowdfunding in Atis platform. So as we can see at the figure 1 and 2, there is no significant difference between the structure of conventional crowdfunding and structure of Islamic crowdfunding. So we take a P2P, which is peer-to-peer crowdfunding, as an example. So in Islamic crowdfunding, it has same procedure and structure as conventional crowdfunding. However, since Islamic crowdfunding is Sharia compliant, it must be free from any element of usury or interest-based contract. Instead, it should be based on profit sharing that has been agreed upon by each party before the project is funded. As a conclusion, Islamic crowdfunding is very suitable to be implemented, especially in Muslim majority countries. it should be based on Islamic laws and concepts. In addition, crowdfunding also provides an advantages for people to start a project and start a business. And also Sharia board and Sharia supervisor should play an important role in screening projects or products, whether they are from Islamic or halal sources, to avoid from
What is meant by Waqf? Waqf is a charitable practice that is encouraged in Islam. It is one way of giving alms Sharia that gives a reward prologue to the Waqf even after his death. In terms of Waqf language, it means hold. In terms of terminology, it is mean holding possession of a property which is endowed and giving alms with the benefits. The main concept and features of Waqf that differentiate it of the practice of charity and alms giving is Habs al-As, withhold the original asset which is ain or its principles, and Tasbih al-Manfa'ah as alms the benefits. Or simply, this term Waqf is carried out within a predetermined period of time and has been anchored by either the Waqf or the Waqf recipient. It is like a person who gives a house Waqf that can be used, but within a period of 10 years. After that, the Waqf will be taken back after the period has expired. For the Waqf Mua'Qat, Ijtihad on periodic Waqf, that is whether Mu'abbad which is forever or Mua'Qat which is certain period, is allowed by the ulama. This is show that Waqf is a field of humanity based on human ability to Waqf. Sometimes, people cannot Waqf until any time. It may only be possible to Waqf for a period and then the Waqf property is returned to the Waqf maker. Based on Muslim scholars, permanent features are a condition of the main Waqf. According to the majority of Hanafi, Shafi'i and Hanbali school of laws, and the absence of permanent elements will render a Waqf invalid. As a result, the majority of jurists oppose temporary Waqf. For the Maliki sect permits temporary Waqf, because according to the Maliki school of laws, perpetual possession is not requirement for a Waqf's legality. As a result, it is permissible for Waqif to endow a property for a specific amount of time, with the property's ownership returned to the Waqif when the period has expired. For instance, Waqif can endow a house for a month and then return ownership of the house to the Waqif. In general, the Fuqaha cite two primary secretors as the foundation for stating the permanent condition as one of the main prerequisites Waqf that lead them to reject the temporary Waqf. First, on the authority of Abu Hurairah radhiyallahu anhu, that the messengers of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, when a person dies, his deed comes to an end except for three, which is Sadaqah Jariyah, which is a continuous charity, or a knowledge from a benefit is gained, or a righteous child who pray for him. Jumhur Fuqaha argue that Waqf, while not realizing the concept of alms and implementing the relevant words of the Prophet ﷺ, the original retention of the Waqf asset as it will return to its original owner. Umar's hadith according to Jumhur shows that ownership Waqf is withheld and is not transferable. The Maliki school of thought is of the view that the concept of Jariyah still applies while the asset is in the Waqf, and this does not contradict the will of the hadith. According to the scholars of the Maliki school, Umar's hadith, ihbis, which means withholding property, means the determination of Waqf ownership hand over the Waqf, and the Waqif can make it a permanent or temporary Waqf. From the scholars of the Shafi'i school, Abu Abbas ibn Suraj, as quoted by Al-Mawardi in Al-Hawi's book, agrees with Maliki's view in the necessity of temporary Waqf. He argued if the property is shared and can be determined, its boundaries can be endowed, then the property endowed based on time boundaries is also a must. But he was more comfortable calling a term Waqf with area, which is loan of goods. So, the conclusion that we had made can be stated that the majority of fatwa are issued by modern ulama and fatwa organization allows for a period of time. Waqf assets can be better developed, attracting people to contribute and so contributing to the development of the ummah in the areas of religion, education, welfare, economics and social issues, with the openness of the view of fiqh without ignoring the related rules and laws.
So, I will continue about fatwas on temporary waqf. The different opinions of classical jurists on permissibility of temporary waqf is reflected in the various fatwa on international level issued on the religious authorities. Like Majlis Ulama Islam Singapore, which is MUIS, released this fatwa in 1997 and 2000. That they argued waqf should be made continuously and temporary dedication rendered the waqf invalid. So the second fatwa is from Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institution in their Sharia Standard number 33 on waqf 2017 allowed temporary waqf by stating in principle waqf should be eternal. Nevertheless, temporary waqf is also permissible when the donor desire to get back his property after a specific period. Alright, so the same opinion is held by the International Fiqh Academy in their conference on 30 April 2009, which conclude that stating specific period of waqf is permissible for all types of waqf. So it is related to the Maqasid Syariah, in which the purpose of is to accommodate the needs of the public. In case of Malaysia, Islamic jurisdictions falls under the authority of the state religious council, which is SRC, and the SRC for respective states is the sole trustee for what properties. Stipulated in Malaysia constitution, the religion of Islam has been identified as within the jurisdiction of the state. Thus, any issue arise in Islamic affairs will be referred to them. SRC in Malaysia has divided opinion on the permissibility of waqf. Since the official madhab in Malaysia is Shafi'i, thus majority of the SRC still define them according to the view held by Shafi'ites. Alright, so among the state that defined the meaning of waqf is Negeri Sembilan, which state that waqf means dedicating ownership of properties in which its usufruct, benefits and return can be enjoyed. Dedicating usufruct, benefits or return that can be enjoyed from any properties, or dedicating expertise that and service in which its usufruct, benefits and return can be enjoyed. This is also the definition held by Negeri Selangor. The state of Perak did not exact allow temporary waqf. However, it does not stipulate that the waqf must be perpetual. This definition implies that the waqf may be temporary, as it does not stipulate perpetuity as a condition for establish of waqf. So Johor, on the other hand, explicitly state that waqf must be perpetual. It is in enactments in 2003. Okay, so we move to the state of Pahang. Pahang also state clearly in their definition of Waqf Am and Waqf Khas that they only acknowledge perpetual dedication of property in order for it to be considered valid wakaf. So, from the definitions given by various SLR, we can conclude that the states which have revised their enactment on wakaf recently did not regard perpetual as a condition for a valid wakaf. I believe that the definitions of wakaf should be revisited once in 5 years time in order to maximize its potential, thus extending the benefits to what we call the society. So,
legal studies about temporary wakaf. So in the first view, which is majority of jurists, Shafi'i, Hanafi and Hanbali does not allow temporary wakaf. This is because majority of these scholars give the view that the permanent features are the main condition of wakaf. Meanwhile, for the second view, which is according to Maliki, temporary wakaf is allowed. It is permissible for a person to endow his property within a certain period of time, then the property will be returned to him when that period has ended. So the reason why majority of jurists does not allow temporary wakaf is because they are referred to hadith, which the meaning is on the authority of Abu Hurairah that the Messenger of Allah said, when a person dies, his deeds come to an end except for 3, which is Sadaqah Jariyah, which is a continuous charity or knowledge from which benefit is gained, or righteous child who prays for him. And also the hadith, which the meaning is keep the original and reap the benefits. So the next slide is about practicing of Waqf Mua'Qat. So some scholars who allowed Waqf Mua'Qat give the view that the opportunity for the community to practice this Waqf is higher because of the advantages of Waqf Mua'Qat. So the permissible of Waqf Mua'Qat will encourage the community, especially to the Muslim, to perform Waqf. And in Malaysia, their temporary wakaf is allowed for 2 states, which is Terengganu and Wilayah Persekutuan, which is Terengganu Section 18 of the Waqf Terengganu Enactment 2016. Meanwhile, for Wilayah Persekutuan, Section 2 of the Administration of Islamic Law, Wilayah Persekutuan Act 1993.